I'm Jeremy. Today's day 288 of reading. Today, reading Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Let's get started. Please give this video more views. I'm begging you, TikTok. We're on page 445. Let's go. Goblins, all of whom had their arms crossed and were looking rather menacing. It was indeed odd, Harry thought, that Bagman was here at the Three Broomsticks on a weekend when there was no Tri-Wizard event, and therefore no judging to be done. He watched Bagman in the mirror. He was looking strange again, quite as strange as he had the night in the forest before the dark mark had appeared. But just then, Bagman glanced over at the bar, saw Harry, and stood up. In a moment, Harry heard him say brusquely to the goblins, and Bagman hurried through the pub toward Harry, his boyish grin back in place. "Harry," he said, "how are you? Been hoping to run into you. Everything going all right?" "Fine, thanks," said Harry. "Wonder if I could have a quick private word, Harry?" said Bagman eagerly. "You couldn't give us a moment, you two, could you?" Okay," said Ron, and he and Hermione went off to find a table. Bagman led Harry along the bar to the end furthest from Madame Rosmerta. "Well, I just thought I'd congratulate you again on your splendid performance against that Horntail, Harry," said Bagman. "Really superb." "Thanks," said Harry, but he knew this couldn't be all that Bagman wanted to say, because he could have congratulated Harry in front of Ron and Hermione. Bagman didn't seem in any particular rush to spill the beans, though Harry saw him glance into the mirror over the bar at the goblins, who were all watching him and Harry in silence through their dark, slanting eyes. "Absolute nightmare," Bagman said to Harry in an undertone, noticing Harry watching the goblins too. "Their English isn't too good. It's like being back with the Bulgarians at the Quidditch World Cup. But at least they use sign language another human could recognize. This lot keeps gabbling in gobbledygook, and I only know one word of gobbledygook. Bladvac. It means pickaxe. I don't like to use it in case they think I'm threatening them." He gave a short, booming laugh. "What do they want?" Harry saw, noticing how the goblins were still watching Bagman very closely. Well," said Bagman, looking suddenly nervous. They're looking for Barty Crouch." "Why are they looking for him here?" said Harry. "He's at the Ministry in London, isn't he?" As a matter of fact, I have no idea where he is," said Bagman. "He sort of stopped coming to work. Been absent for a couple of weeks now. Young Percy, his assistant, says he's ill. Apparently, he's just been sending instructions in by owl. But would you mind not mentioning that to anyone, Harry? Because Rita Skeeter is still poking around everywhere she can. And I'm willing to bet she'd work up Barty's illness into something sinister. Probably saying he's gone missing like Bertha Jorkins." "Have you heard anything about Bertha Jorkins?" Harry asked. "No," said Bagman, looking strained again. "I've got people looking, of course." "About time," thought Harry. "And it's all very strange. She definitely arrived in Albania, because she met her second cousin there. And then she left the cousin's house to go to South and see an aunt. And she seemed to have vanished without trace en route. Blowed if I can see where she's got to, but she doesn't seem like the type to elope, for instance. But still, what are we doing? Talking about goblins and Bertha Jorkins? I really wanted to ask you." He lowered his voice. "How are you getting on with your golden egg?" Not bad," Harry said untruthfully. Bagman seemed to know he wasn't being honest. "Listen, Harry," he said, still in a very low voice. "I feel bad about all this. You were thrown into this tournament. You didn't volunteer for it. And if—" His voice was so quiet now, Harry had to lean closer to listen. "If I can help at all, a prod in the right direction, I'm taking a liking to you. The way you got past that dragon. Well, just say the word." Harry stared up at Bagman's round, rosy face and his wide, baby blue eyes. "We're supposed to work out the clues alone, aren't we?" he said, careful to keep his voice casual and not sound as though he were accusing the head of Department of Magical Games and Sports of breaking the rules. "Well, yes," said Bagman impatiently. But come on, Harry. We all want a Hogwarts victory, don't we? Have you offered Cedric help? Harry said. The smallest of frowns creased Bagman's smooth face. No, I haven't, he said. Like I say, I've taken a liking to you. Just thought I'd offer. Well, thanks, said Harry, but I think I'm nearly there with the eggs. The couple more days should crack it. He wasn't entirely sure why he was refusing Bagman's help, except that Bagman was almost a stranger to him, and accepting his assistance would feel somehow more like cheating than asking advice from Ron, Hermione, or Cyrus. Bagman looked almost affronted, but he couldn't say much more as Fred and George turned up at the point. Hello, Mr. Bagman, said Fred brightly. Can we buy you a drink? No, said Bagman, with the last disappointed glance at Harry. No, thank you, boys. Fred and George were looking quite as disappointed as Bagman, who was surveying Harry as though he had let him down badly. Well, I must dash, he said. Nice seeing you all. Good luck, Harry. He hurried out of the pub. The goblins all slid off their chairs and exited after him. Harry went to rejoin Ron and Hermione. What did he want? Ron said, the moment Harry had sat down. He offered to help me with the golden egg, said Harry. He shouldn't be doing that, said Hermione, looking very shocked. He's one of the judges. And anyway, you've already worked it out, haven't you? Nearly, said Harry. Well, I don't think Dumbledore would like it if he knew Bagman was trying to persuade you to cheat, said Hermione, still looking deeply disapproving. I hope he's trying to help Cedric just as much. He's not, I asked. Who cares if Diggory's getting help, said Ron. Harry privately agreed. Those goblins didn't look very friendly, said Hermione, sipping on her butterbeer. What were they doing here? Looking for Crouch, according to Bagman, said Harry. He's still ill. Hasn't been in to work. Maybe Percy's poisoning him, said Ron. Probably thinks if Crouch snuffs it, he'll be made head of the Department of International Magical Cooperation. Hermione gave Ron a don't joke about things like that look, and said, Funny, goblins looking for Mr. Crouch. They normally deal with the Department for the Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures. Crouch can speak loads of different languages, though, said Harry. Maybe they need an interpreter. Worrying about poor ickle goblins now, are you? Ron asked Hermione. Thinking of starting up SPUG or something? Society for the Protection of Ugly Goblins? Ha ha ha, said Hermione sarcastically. Goblins don't need protection. Haven't you been listening to what Professor Binns has been telling us about goblin rebellions? No, said Harry and Ron together. Well, they're quite capable of dealing with wizards, said Hermione, taking another sip of butterbeer. They're very clever. They're not like house elves who never stick up for themselves. Uh-oh, said Ron, staring at the door. Rita Skeeter had just entered. She was wearing banana yellow robes today. Her long nails were painted shocking pink, and she was accompanied by her punchy photographer. Thank you, everyone. That's all for today. Bye. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to read this. We're going to read page 450. Page 450. Peace out.